episode 66, and welcome in to the Bench is Clear podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all sports. I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants, who went a pretty good 4-2 last week.
I'm Tyler Coe, and I represent the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are currently sitting at 2-2 on the week. However, they are beating the Pirates 2-1 in the bottom of the seventh. So hopefully we turn that into a nice little 3-2 week.
Yeah, I think I might be confused because in my notes here, I'm just triple check here, and it does say that they took 3 out of 4 at the Cubs, and then they split with the Rays, and that means 4-2. And I am double checking the stand. It's just I'm a little confused because 2 weeks ago you said, "Oh, I know the Giants are in first, but in 2 weeks." You won't be there, and you'll never see fucking first place again. But it still looks like
I'm a little confused too, because do you see that I have nothing? I'm eating nothing. I was supposed to be eating Chipotle a week ago for that bet.
You haven't hit me up for it. I keep on telling you, hey, I'll send you the money. Just let me know how much your Chipotle is. I don't know what your order is. I'm not trying.
A man of integrity would just send me $15. Just so I can get it whenever I want.
Well, all I know is my order is like 19 and change. You know,
Jesus
Christ. A burrito and some chips and guac. So
really? I guess I haven't been to Chipotle in a long time.
Yeah, so that's the problem right there. I'm also a man that knows that things change, and I want to make sure the right amount of money is deposited. Okay, so
you're right.
This is on you.
My order's $47.
This is on you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to get they send me a receipt and just gonna write on there $300. Yeah, man, a lot of stuff has been going around in baseball. It's really nice of you to still be watching these Dodger games, you know, with the team rebuilding and all, and you know, not in first place. It's been pretty rough for you. But let's talk around the league. Let's get familiar with what's going on with a new segment we like to call Play Say What? Here's Garrett Cole talking about his take on if he used spider tack or not.
And have you ever used spider tack while pitching?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest. I mean, there are customs and practices that have been passed down from older players to younger players, from the last generation of players to this generation of players. And, you know, I think there are some things that are certainly out of bounds in that regard. And I've stood pretty firm in terms of that, in terms of the communication between our peers and whatnot. You know, and I, again, like I mentioned earlier, there's, you know, this is important to a lot of people that love the game, and this is including the players in this room, including fans, including, you know, teams. And so if MLB wants to, you know, legislate some more stuff, that's a conversation that we can have, because ultimately we should all be pulling in the same direction on this.
So obviously he uses it. I mean, I don't think it was any secret. I mean, he's kind of like the Barry Bonds of this situation. Everyone knows he uses it, and it's just a matter of if it's going to come out or how he's going to be able to deal once they take it away from him. So, and I hate to keep just beating this down, right? Because we've been talking about it like, fuck, I feel like we mentioned the last 4 podcasts, but it just keeps coming up. But I mean, first, what do you think? What are you thinking about this, the Garrett Cole thing? And then also, what's your stance officially? Because I feel like you listen to some people in podcasts, I'm not calling one out, but they'll advocately like say they're against it. And then one of their players on their favorite team, it comes out, they're probably using it. And then it's like, well, every player uses it. So is it cheating? How do you take a stand on that?
I don't know. It's hard to say because it's never really been policed.
Right.
I'm against it. I said, I think it was in last week's, that I think the best way to do it would be to let him use pine tar, sunscreen, and rosin, because pine tar doesn't give you the crazy RPMs that spider tack does. And because pine tar is a substance that's allowed on the field for batters, it would be, it's going to be hard to police it in a sense where they're collecting these balls. And if they have pine tar on it, what if it hits someone's bat? Justin Turner has pine tar 25 inches up his bat, way past the 18-inch limit. So it's certainly possible. But I think spider tack, that's cheating. Spider tack's what's going to give you those glue strands coming off the ball. And I mean, that's insane. Pine tar is not going to give you that. Pine tar is going to give you more grip and a little increase in RPMs. But if everyone that's using spider tack gets pushed down to pine tar, there's going to be a significant drop. And I mean, look at it. Garrett Cole's RPMs are way down. Walker Buehler's RPMs were way down.
And he's had the
yesterday.
blister. He's been having those blister issues. That's probably what it's coming from.
Right.
Not trying to be that guy. But
and that's the thing is, I mean, I think it's in poor taste to use that stuff. I don't know if you can call it cheating because it hasn't really been policed. So but I don't think everyone. So either everyone should be using it or no one should be using it. There should be none of this in between. So that's why I feel like if you regulate and say sunscreen and rosin's fine, pine tar is fine, then we move forward.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on the same page with you. I think that I feel like it should be looked honestly the same level as steroids. It's something that should be pushed out of the game, but I don't think it should be a thing of, people should be, their name should be tarnished because of it. Because they're not only was it in like no one was getting in trouble for using this stuff, it was strongly encouraged everywhere. It was another thing like steroids, people were pushing it. Like if you're not using it, you're like not helping out your team as much as possible. So get it out of sports. It's not okay to have the crazy amount of strikeouts we're having now because guys are, gluing their fingers to the ball. It needs to stop, but at the same time, this is not the Astros cheating scandal where there's one team cheating a team. And I don't want to say the Astros were the only team. I'm sure there's probably, a team or two, but they were the team that won the World Series from it, and they got hardware because of it. So any team that got found out doing that same thing should be punished just as well as the Astros. But yeah, it's not as bad as that, but I would compare it to steroids and think it needs to get out of the game. But no one should be tarnished because of it.
Here's something I just kind of thought of. The foreign substances. Are you talking about Malibu Smoke One?
I never thought of it like that.
Why don't you just be brothers? Here's something I just thought about. The foreign substances has never really been policed, right? However, using pine tar has been policed. Like if we remember the Michael Pineda fucking slick spot. So
on the neck, on the hickey.
You know what? It is cheating because pine tar is being policed. So if you're going above and beyond pine tar and using something that's stickier, using something that's going to increase your RPMs more, then yes, it is cheating. And you know it, but you might be able to get away with it because I don't know what these substances look like. But pine tar, like James Karinchak had that black mark on his glove. Maybe these don't have that. And if they're kind of a transparent surface, then you might be able to get away with it. But you're using that because you can get away with it. No one's out there putting pine tar on their necks anymore.
Right.
Because, they're going to get popped for it. So it is cheating, but MLB, it's because MLB has kind of let it happen.
Right.
So
and they can't just it's weird that the time they want to police it is in the middle of the season and not telling players before the season, hey, we know what's going on, stop it now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they're going to police it. I've heard, in the Sports Illustrated story, they were talking about how, the one idea was to punish the managers or the owners. Or general managers because they don't know, because it's kind of like, because I don't know because I don't want to know type thing.
Yeah.
Built-in deniability. But if their jobs are on the line, I'm sure they're going to find out and they're clean it up. So that's one way. But I just don't understand why if rosin and sunscreen does the job and it gives you the least amount of uptick in your RPMs, why that's not efficient. So I think that, I get pine tars on the field. But if people have been getting, dinged for pine tar, then no, they shouldn't be using it. So,
well, what's crazy to me too, just real quick, is have you ever used pine tar before?
I've never felt pine tar in my life.
Pine tar is so incredibly sticky.
Mm-hmm.
To think that spider tack is that much stickier is insane to me.
Yes.
I feel like your fingers might not even come off the ball.
Right.
So the fact that these guys are using something like that is crazy, because even pine tar, it's like the thickest, sappiest stuff you can think of.
Right.
And it sticks really well.
And there's stuff that people are using, like Trevor Bauer was talking about, the melted down Coke with, like stuff. So I don't know, man. I mean, we're going to see this as it comes to light, but I think we need it right now before anyone comes out, because I don't want to just single out, Walker Buehler, but it kind of makes sense with his blister issues and his RPMs are down. It seems like he's probably one. And just to kind of be even playing field, not trying to be a homer here. I don't know. It seems to me Kevin Gausman touches the tip of his hat an awful lot. So for all I know, it could just be some extra rosin and some sunscreen up there. It could be just some pine tar, but it could. People are saying that 80% of these pitchers are using at least something. That doesn't mean 80% of pitchers are using a spider tack. A lot of them could be using sunscreen and rosin and pine tar, and that shouldn't even be a big deal. It should be police, but it shouldn't even be a big deal on someone's name. But that other stuff should be out of the game. People should get exposed, but I don't think it's as big of a deal as other things.
Yeah. One last point that I want to hit on. I believe it was the Chris Rose podcast I was listening to, and he made a really good point. It's illegal for a pitcher to go to the mouth with their hands on the mound, and you have to walk off the mound. When's the last time you saw someone do that? And that made me think, like, holy shit, point. No one does that anymore.
Sergio Romo, that's the only person I know.
Because you have
all in there.
You have pine tar or sticky cement on your fingers, so of course you're not going to go to the mouth. So once I thought of that, I was like, holy shit, everyone's using something. Everyone.
Yeah, and like we said, other things are different than others, but we'll see what happens in the next coming weeks. I feel like it's the calm before the storm. But on to our next clip. A player say what? Is our guy Pete Alonso with another I never thought of it like that type moment.
I hadn't heard until you mentioned it, the idea that they do it based on free agent class. Is that something that players talk about and believe in?
Oh no, that's a fact. It's not. It's yes. Guys have talked about it, but in 2019, there's a huge class of free agent pitchers, and then that's quote unquote the juice balls, and then 2020 was a strange year with the COVID season, but now that we're back to playing a regular season with a ton of shortstops or position players that are going to be paid a lot of money, like high caliber players. It's not a coincidence. And I think that it definitely is something that they do.
So some crazy, X-Files conspiracy theory level shit here. I got to be honest with you. At first I was kind of like, that's kind of weird. Like it's not really, it's kind of out of the box, but at the same time, shit is kind of lining up. I mean, Rob Manfred has always been, the owner's kind of like little puppet and has their backs because they're the ones who hold his job. So to try to knock a couple mil off of someone's contract by changing the ball, it makes sense. It seems like when they push back on him, obviously on the clip, and he was saying that players talk about it all the time, and it's an indisputed fact. That's just the way it is. I don't know. I kind of feel what's going on right now.
It just doesn't make sense to me, because you're saying, yes, I get it. You're deadening the balls, so that should produce less offense. Mm-hmm. But some guys are having career years. Look at Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I mean, he is breaking the fuck out.
Yeah, but a breakout is better than is different than a career year. He's like just figuring it out. This could be what he is from now on. If you want to talk about resurgence, then you should talk about, I don't know, 90% of the guys on the Giants roster, Evan Longoria, Brandon Crawford, Buster Posey. You could talk about them, but Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is not having a breakout. It's not having a resurgence season. This is who he is.
Perfect example, right?
Yeah.
Dead in ball. Look at Brandon Crawford. Look at his power. Look at his power resurgence. The idea that they're deading the ball to skew the free agent market of 5 shortstops is insane.
Right.
Because just with like the law of averages, it's not going to work. All these guys, no matter how down of a year they have, they're going to get superstar money next year regardless. I mean, look at Corey Seager. Corey Seager is going to be out for another 3-4 weeks maybe. He's still going to get $300+ million.
I don't know about that.
Okay, his AAV is going to be $30+ million for sure.
Maybe.
Really? You're going to be sucking my dick after this because you're wrong.
Oh gosh.
No, but just the idea that they would do that to skew the free agent market just doesn't make sense, especially when you have a guy like Trevor Story. I mean, the guy plays in Coors anyways. I mean, he's gonna hit bombs. It just I don't buy it.
I don't know. I always like conspiracy theories. They're always really intriguing to me.
So do I, but you also have to come at him with a little bit of logic there, guy.
That is logic, though. I mean, it's lining up. The big pitcher free agency, the last couple of years, and then this year with the big shortstop free agent class. I don't know.
Yeah, but look at the numbers. You know what?
Yeah, you could talk about the top guys all you want, but less money is getting paid out on average. Like there's the mid-level guys are not getting paid anymore like they used to. Mid-level guys are getting 1-year deals, getting minor league deals when they have successful big league careers. So yes, the top 2 free agents might be getting it, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they're getting less money. That's just facts.
I disagree.
Big facts, no cap.
The TikTok meme generation's getting to your brain. Your brain's turning to mush.
TikTok over everything. Now, let's get to our teams now. I feel like we should get into some games and talk about what's going on in San Francisco. Because we're the best team in baseball. I mean, I don't know why would we hold that to last. Let's give the people what they want.
In 2 weeks.
Giants.
In 2 weeks, you won't be.
You will never see first place again. You'll never see this face again. Giants went 4-2. The big storyline from this week has to be the 3 out of 4 from the Cubs. I mean, gosh, freaking the Cubs were so fucking hot coming into this series. So to take 3 out of 4 from and it's not like they're on a downturn now. They just took a series against the Padres, who they just swept just before the series with the Giants. So I think I might print out the text you sent me. I know it was during the Rangers series, the text you sent me when you said, fuck, I feel like the Giants are for real now. I might have to put that on a plaque and put it over like where I sleep at night.
Here's all I'm going to say.
Say it.
The Giants and the Dodgers are so polar opposite in close games where the Giants, they just seem to be able to pull it out.
I don't know.
That's what I've experienced watching the games I've seen. Whereas the Dodgers in 1-run games have lost like 13, which is fucking absurd.
Right.
But no, I think the Giants are legitimate. I don't think they're going to hang around first place, but I think they're certainly a contender for the wild card.
Here's the thing. I think I was probably the most optimistic take I've heard either on a Giants podcast, baseball podcast, baseball writers, Giants writers, except for my man Travis, who I do the lives with every once in a while. He went a little overboard. Thought the Giants were at the beginning of the year, thought they were going to win 93, 94 games, and I was like, oh, that might be much. But it doesn't look so crazy right now. 93, 94 doesn't seem out of the question. And honestly, before I was like, maybe they can get that second wild card. I strongly believe they can get that first wild card. I think they're playing better than the Padres, and they are better than the Padres right now. Obviously, they're freaking just dick slap the Cubs. And listen, I know the Dodgers are the Dodgers, but it seems like the Giants have this depth of, they don't have the stars that the Dodgers have, but they have this depth that's just working right now. The Dodgers have a lot of depth in a lot of areas, better roster than the Giants. I'm not going to take that from them, but it just seemed like the depth pieces that they were trying to use, the Noisy, the DJ Peters just weren't working out, and it could snowball into a weird thing. And I don't know. I think the Giants might be able to be there. I don't think they're going to run away with this division and create a huge gap, but they could come down last week where they're up there, or they might be able to sneak in if some weird things happen like we've seen this last week. I mean, the Dodgers, I know they even after their huge little downfall, they still weren't exactly playing the best baseball after, they got back to being normal. So I don't know. I feel like the Giants, I have the most faith in the Giants that I've ever had. Well, not ever, but that I've had, since the beginning of the year. And I had a very optimistic take. So I think it's possible. But to get back to this Cubs series, I guess there's a couple things I want to highlight. Obviously, Duggar's the hottest dude in baseball, and he's just the guy. Gosman, King of the North. I don't know. The second thing is I've just, I said it, King of the North.
Yeah. So lame.
Fucking, if Jacob deGrom wasn't in the National League, oh my God, he'd be getting, all-star game starter, no problem. He would get talked about all the time, but when you're in the same league as Jacob deGrom, it just doesn't happen. So one thing I did want to mention over now that Brandon Belt is back, I know Belt is the guy, right? He has all this time, but God, his at-bats are painful. At the beginning of the year, I was like, oh, they like his approach. He might actually be able to stay for a year or two, and there's no fucking chance. Lamont Wade is just on fire. He looks so much better at first in the outfield. I know he's a better outfield than what he showed in Texas
Too bad
last
he
week.
Couldn't catch that ball today, am I right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Loser.
But I don't know. I just feel like Lamont Wade should get more at bats, and they can't DFA Belt. Even if he was doing worse than he was, there's no way that you treat that guy. And I don't think that he should be DFA'd, but I think sometimes he should be overlooked for some position, for some starts and to give Wade that first base, a lot more spots over there. But yeah, to stop a hot Cubs team is huge. And I think it solidifies that they're not just a team beating the shit out of shitty teams. They're actually stopping hot streaks like they did with the Dodgers, stopping hot streak with the Cubs. So I think that made their stamp a little bit more legit. The Rangers series, I was going to talk for this past week. I've been like, dude, I need to put Tauchman as my dad. He's going to be, he's this and that. And he's like, I understand like he's a good outfielder and the Albert Pujols catch. And it's like, but how long can you ride that out? And he was literally the last person I wanted up in that situation when I was like, oh, who's up next? Fuck, it's Tauchman. Damn it. Let's hope he walks. Don't swing the fucking bat. And then that happened. So that buys you another week, Tauchman. Tauchman. Batman. Do you get why that's so funny though? Yes. So that buys him some time, and but Steven Duggar's the hottest guy in the world, so he's going to get those starts in center field. And then last thing I want to talk about in the Rangers series, I got to give it up to my guy Sam Long, Sam Long Dong, guy who has been given up on a couple of organizations, was almost out of baseball, just destroyed in AA, had one start in AAA, and just dropped dick, and then comes up and has seven strikeouts in 4 innings. I understand. First of all, I hate bullpen games. Yeah, very good. I understand it's a shitty Texas team, but he still looks very good. I think this is a guy that until Webb gets back, I think you give him a starting spot, try to stretch him out to do 5 or 6 innings because these bullpen games, I think that's what lost us the game today. It was a close game, but our bullpen was fucking tired because the bullpen pitched the entire game. So, not a huge fan of the opener, but that's a whole nother story. And then when Webb gets back, if you want to control his innings, you just piggyback him with Sam Long. Hey, Webb, give me 5 innings. Long, go in for 4 innings. Close this thing out. That's how we play baseball, baby. Gang, gang. Also, the Giants had their pride patch on their jersey on the Cubs series and with the pride colors in their hat. Not a lot of people bitched about it, but there was some. I know Susan Celester posted an email she got about it. I just want to say one thing. If that bothers you, then you're a bitch and you should just not watch baseball. I don't understand why including people that were persecuted and, left out, why that bugs you so much. Just don't even give I refuse to. Then stop watching. No one gives a literally. No one gives a fuck.
Missed.
Nobody gives a fuck.
No.
It's literally just colors on a jersey, just being like, hey, we're trying to grow the game. You guys are, we want more people interested in kind of like a signal of you belong. And that can mean a lot to somebody. So if that gets you butthurt, fuck off.
Yeah.
You're a bitch.
I don't understand how inclusivity scares people. Like, oh God, everyone is welcome. Oh no. Get real. It's 2021. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to watch baseball anymore because of it, don't. We don't need you.
We literally don't give a fuck. Yeah.
And it's not. And I love how they're like, I won't give the Giants organization my money. Cool. That's not going to hurt their bottom line at all. They don't care. Fucking leave.
They don't. They really don't. Yeah, that was quick. And then get a little sentimental. Dwayne Kuiper was diagnosed with a medical condition where he has to go through chemotherapy. It hasn't been disclosed what he has. I don't know if he just wants to keep it a secret, just because chemotherapy doesn't necessarily mean it's cancer. But just he's not going to do as many games, but he's still going to be on the broadcast. So big thoughts and prayers to him. And it's just sad, man. I know Kruko had a lot of health issues, but to see Kuip going through this, it really sucks. I know this might be a homer take, but they're one of, if not the best play calling in baseball. So,
they're one of the best.
They're one of the best. Yeah, I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that, especially when Vin left. They hopped up to at least top 3. Yeah. So I thoughts and prayers with that guy, and love the city rallying around somebody. And to end off talking about the San Francisco Giants, the first place San Francisco Giants, I'm going to go with my stud and dud of the week. And I'm going to go with dud so we can just knock it out of the way real quick. I'm sorry. My guy, fellow friends, fanboy, Wilmer Flores, I'm sorry, guy. I'm bummed that you're doing so bad right now, but you are. This guy is hitting 83.083 for the week.
It's not bad.
I know he's going to get a lot of time because Longoria is out, and Longoria was hot. So I'm not expecting you to be as hot as Longoria, but you got to do a little better than that, my guy. He's not striking out a whole lot, but gosh, dude, doesn't really take walks that much. So Wilmer, and you're not even a huge defensive guy either. So you got to step it up just a little bit for me.
Yeah,
I got to talk about my dud. Oh, what do you got to say? What's up?
No. I'm just chomping at the bit to talk about what the people really want to hear. With the Dodgers.
No, we'll get into it. We'll get into it right now. The one thing people want to talk about, and that is my stud, which will be a guy who broke the record. Even if his numbers weren't even there this week, I'm sure I probably would have gave him the stud because he just broke the record for most games by a shortstop in San Francisco history. But then you look at his last 7 days, 3 home runs, a .538, not slugging percentage, not on base percentage. That's his average. Yeah. 1.3. Oh my gosh. I messed that up. It's a 1.3 slugging percentage and a 2.0 OPS. Insanity.
Yeah,
Insanity.
all right.
And this dude makes it's still making the defensive plays. Extend this dude for another 10 years. I don't know what else to do. Brandon Crawford, congratulations. You're the best hair in the game. Fuck Trevor Story and Carlos Correa. Brandon Crawford for life, bitch.
All right, cool. Now let's get into the thick of it.
Get into the
Dodgers
thick.
opened up 3 games in Atlanta. Atlanta's not playing very well, but in true Dodger streaky fashion, they lose the series. They win the opener. They score 8 runs. I have to have it in front of me. I forget how many hits we had. 4 hits, or we scored 9 runs. 4 hits. I mean,
It's not good.
huge IQ play from Chris Taylor to start the scoring off on Friday with that ground ball to third, running inside the baseline, which is legal, going towards the plate. Throw hits him in the back. They score 8 runs that inning without getting a hit. 8 runs without a hit. So that was super fun. Truth be told, I was camping this weekend. Service was kind of spotty, so I didn't get to really watch any games. Would kind of get it on the radio and then it would go out. Sunday, I mean, they kept it kind of close. Or sorry, Saturday, kept it kind of close. Kershaw's had some bad starts recently. I also think he might be falling victim to the sticky stuff. Later on his career, I think he might have been using it a little bit more. And then Sunday, dude, Trevor Bauer, I think if you look at it, he hasn't given up a run in over like 6 weeks. That's not a home run. All his runs have been home runs. Dude, if he can figure out how to not give up the long ball, Jesus Christ. That would be a fucking MVP.
If he could just not do the thing that makes him suck, like
right, exactly,
that would be great.
If he could just pitch better, he would be better. No,
That's
I mean,
facts.
And he strikes Acuna out with one eye. Whoop-de-doo.
So stupid.
Don't really care.
Why even? First of all, why even chance that in a real game? But second of all, that's not even a disadvantage. We've talked about it last time, but it was spring training. Who gives a fuck? But fuck off with that.
He did strike him out twice that game, so that's great. But he gave up 4 homers, I think. Or let's see the exact number.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that kind of antics, you got to win the game. I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy. I like bat flips and I like showing emotion and all that kind of stuff, but you don't bat flip when you're down 5. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're down and you barely hit a dent in the lead, don't bat flip. You just look stupid.
I would like to strike what I said from the record. Bauer didn't give up any home runs on Sunday. I was thinking of his last start in St. Louis. Like I said,
right.
I wasn't able to watch this game or on the radio, so I just kind of watched highlights. So it wasn't really fresh in my mind. But I think the Dodgers pitching staff might just be sliding a little bit because maybe they're all starting to use rosin and sunscreen now, where before they might have been using something else. But
yeah,
brings us to the Pirates series. Dodger game goes viral yesterday with Ke'Bryan Hayes hitting a home run almost, and not because it didn't quite go over the fence. It cleared the fence. Homeboy didn't touch first base. And I will defend Ke'Bryan Hayes here a bit because so many people it's funny, so it's fun to bag on him.
Right.
But he didn't know if it was going out. And you can see right as he's making the turn to first base, he's turning the jets on because he doesn't think the ball's getting out.
Right.
So if he doesn't realize that the ball has gone out until he hits second base, you can't go back to first now anyway. If you touch second and then try to go back to first, you're out anyways. So at that point, you just got to hope to God that no one saw it. And that's it. Still should hit the bag on the first try. Shouldn't have to go back. But it was just crazy because when they reviewed it, everyone thought they were reviewing if the ball went out, and it clearly did You heard it hit the foul pole. It's a home run. But then they showed the appeal and him missing the bag, and that was just great. Bueller pitched lights out yesterday. He has that RPM going down a little bit, but I mean he's still shoving. Maybe the blister issue doesn't come back ever again now.
Yeah, that could be a
So he looked good. Currently, it is the top of the ninth, 2 outs. We got a man on first. Justin Turner is up, who has 2 solo home runs. He accounts for both runs, 3 for 4 today. So hopefully we can pull this one out. Kenley's coming in for the 4-out save. Got the last out in the 8th inning. But while we're waiting for this game to close, I think I'll hit you with my stud and dud of the week.
Hit it.
Stud, without question, Walker Bueller. Pitched a gem. He's 5-0 this year. He's looking great. I mean, he is just pitching very well. Like we said, even with the downtick in RPM, I mean, he's still shoving. And my boy Walker Bueller had 2 hits yesterday. So my boy, he's pressing Clayton Kershaw for that Silver Slugger award. He's coming at Mad Bum. He's coming at Greinke. He's taking that Silver Slugger.
So basically, if any Dodger pitcher gets hits, they're going to be your dud for the week. I mean, sorry, your stud for the week. My bad.
No,
like Uris and Bueller.
It just so happens when the Dodgers pitch a gem, they somehow get hits too. But for my dud of the week, I was kind of torn. I had 2 guys in mind. I had Justin Turner and Mookie Betts. But given that Turner has accounted for both runs today, I'm going with Mookie Betts, who had 1 good game in Atlanta. But I mean, the dude is just not playing. He's just not playing up to his capability. I mean, he's batting, let's see, 251, 5 home runs, 21 RBIs, an OPS of 796. It's just not there. It's not right. He's just not playing up to his capability. The defense is there, but he needs to turn it up. You know, we talk about the Dodgers being super streaky, and that's what's really hurting them. And I think it starts with Mookie Betts. I mean, he's kind of turned into that heart and soul of the team, him with Justin Turner. But Turner's not playing that well. Bellinger's not playing that well. I mean, Bellinger's coming back from an injury, but consistency is what I'm looking for, and the Dodgers don't have it quite yet. And someone else, just a quick note, I thought about putting in a dud of the week, but I thought that would be cruel and too soon.
Okay.
Tony Gonsolin started the game today. Great to see the Catman back on the mound.
Okay.
Went 1 2/3, walked 5 guys.
Only
ended up giving up 1 run, but the control just wasn't there. And
right.
It's his first time pitching in a game since last season, since the World Series. So we'll give him a break. But I think the Dodgers might be going with the same thing you were describing with Sam Long and Logan Webb.
The piggyback.
Tony Gonsolin, David Price. I think that would be a perfect marriage. You got a righty, you got a lefty, 2 guys that are traditionally starters, 2 guys that have proven that they could be somewhat elite. I mean, David Price was an elite starter. Tony Gonsolin has that potential. I think that would be great. And it just kind of sucked because the whole thing today was like, we have 5 starters again, no more bullpen games, and Victor Gonzalez had to come in the 2nd inning. So hopefully as the season goes on,
pretty much a bullpen game.
Yeah, Tony Gonsolin gets his length back, gets his control back, and we just kind of start rocking and rolling. But some bad news, Scott Alexander just got transferred to the 60-day IL, so not planning on seeing him anytime soon. He has at least probably a month left on the IL. So, But yeah, the Dodgers are coming. We're coming.
Oh no! Did we just
how the tables have turned?
Oh, how the turntables! Giants are going to finish up this road trip in Washington. Yes, they don't have a good record, but they are facing Scherzer, so a little scary. So that rotation is always pretty worried. I'm really hoping for. I mean, I obviously want to do 2 out of 3, and then they go back home and they face the Diamondbacks. I'm hoping for another 2 out of 3. But fuck, dude, Washington's pretty tough, and we've been dominating, Arizona. So you can't win every single game. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do an average of I'm gonna go another 4-2 this week. We're going to take both series, or we're gonna lose the series against the Nationals and sweep the Arizona. One of those two.
Right. So for the Dodgers coming up, we're finishing off in Pittsburgh tomorrow at 9:30 a.m., which big fan of. It's really nice waking up in the morning and laying in bed watching baseball. I love it.
I don't know if you're sarcastic or you're being serious. I can never.
No, it's perfect. I have to take my car in for an oil change at like 9, and then just leave it there, and then come home and watch baseball. It's great. Anyways, Dodgers finished up in Pittsburgh tomorrow. Then they come home Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3-game series against the Rangers. Then a 3-game series against the Phillies at home. I'm hoping for a 5-2 week. Finish the sweep of Pittsburgh tomorrow, and then win both series against the Phillies and the Rangers. I mean, Texas, not a good team whatsoever.
No.
Philly, also not a very good team. And then, we all know Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has the 2 biggest blunders of the Major League Baseball season with the running Javi Baez back to home and not touching first on the home run. I mean, these guys are the clown show.
Difference is they're definitely
baseball.
not DFAing Key Brian Hayes. That's definitely not going to happen.
Well, of course not. So hopefully that happens. And then also Tuesday, the 15th, is the reopening day of Dodger Stadium and all the stadiums in California. 100% capacity. So with the way things have been going, I'm kind of excited for it. I don't feel, being a vaccinated individual, much to Aubrey Huff's dismay, I'm excited.
Fuck that guy. You can quote me on that.
Yeah, I got 4 games scheduled that I'm going to. It'll be nice on TV watching a game with potentially 50,000 people. So, yeah.
The world's healing. It's a good time.
Seem not so much the world. The United States is. The world is a little behind, but
true.
We'll get there. Dodgers win 2-1. Kenley shuts the door. He slammed that door shut, comes in for the 4-out
knocked on
save.
his ass, okay?
Catches a liner from Brian Hayes. Dodgers 2 games back of the Giants. Half game ahead of the Padres. Second place. 2 weeks from now, you'll be looking at the first place Los Angeles Dodgers. You can quote me on that. As always, this episode is brought to you by Renovation Candle Company, where summer candles are out now. You know the drill. Go pick up some beautiful candles, soap, whatever you want, they got it. Keep us paid.
That's right. Don't smell like shit. Don't let your room smell like shit. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to follow us on your favorite podcasting platform. Hit subscribe on YouTube. Help us grow. Comment, like, do all that good stuff. Set that notifications banging. Follow us on Twitter, Benches Clear P. Follow us on Instagram, Benches Clear Podcast, and on TikTok, Benches Clear. I think that's everything. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, maybe even sooner.